Hello everyone, welcome to the Haunted House. My name is Ghost, and welcome back to another video. I don't think America has had a worse president than Donald Trump. Richard Nixon maybe, but even that's a stretch. Of course, as you know, the Watergate scandal and other stuff that administration did, allegedly. Um, the difference between that though is he was held accountable. America seems to be asleep right now, not the people. The people have been singing for a while, but the people in power and the justice system don't seem to hear them. So it's our duty to call them out, to let them know by screaming at the top of our lungs that this needs to end. He's destroying that country from the inside out. This will be the start of a series of videos where I'll make my arguments for why he should be impeached. Now, obviously, this won't happen. They tried this once before, Um, but I thought I'd still do it. Who knows? Maybe a lot of people will see this. Um, I encourage you to go protest, use your First Amendment rights, be better than them, don't attack anyone, all the things. Um, but yeah. With all that said, let's get started. Immigrants are the backbone of America. In 2023, immigrants alone brought in $1.7 trillion to the US economy. And in regards to tax, they brought in, on top of that, $652 billion. They built America. But they are under attack right now. Really, all US citizens, immigrants or not, are under attack. As soon as Trump was elected back into office, he ordered mass raids by ICE. Apparently, these raids have gotten hundreds of thousands of horrible people deported, but other estimates put the number lower. A lot of these people getting arrested and deported in these raids and special operations have actually been innocent, and a lot of these raids have actually gotten people killed, especially these last couple months. You've probably seen the news, so you know what we are talking about. We're going to cover other stuff ICE has done as well under Trump. And we're going to talk about a certain person high up in the ranks of ICE. But yeah, on the 7th of January 2026, ICE were conducting raids in Minneapolis. When the agents were leaving, a woman by the name of Renee Good was pulling out onto the road trying to leave. ICE agents then proceeded to tell her to get out of the vehicle, and they tried opening her door. This woman hadn't done anything, she was just trying to leave. Of course, being scared of these horrible people, she attempted to drive off and get out of their way so they could leave. Um, a cop by the name of Jonathan Ross then proceeded to shoot her through the front windshield and side window. She never hurt anyone. She never attempted to kill anyone. Trump and Kristi Noem went on to say that she attempted to run him over. That's not true. Kristi Noem also called her a domestic terrorist. That's definitely not true and just outrageous. Her car was like a good 2 feet away from the guy. Here's a photo proving that. This Jonathan Ross dude has apparently been in ICE for 10 plus years. There's footage of him right after shooting her saying, quote, fucking bitch. No care for her well-being. He just went on to direct his fellow ICE agents casually for a couple minutes, acting like nothing happened, and then left the scene. Just booked it. And I believe this dude is still currently employed, which is insane. They are still investigating that incident, but I mean, come on. He better get jail time. There's nothing I can say. There is nothing to say. He should be in jail. Now, like I said before, Dirty Donald went on to say that she ran him over. He quickly changed his tone once the Eye of Sauron was on him, saying that he felt horrible about the situation and everything. Don't listen to him. He to what he says. He He does not care about her one bit. And on top of that, Kristi Noem is being threatened with impeachment over her comments about Renee Good and another we're going to talk about in a minute. I hope she gets impeached. That would be beautiful. Um, yeah. Now, recently, Renee's brothers, Luke Gengar and Brent Gengar, testified at a Capitol Hill hearing. And when I say that Republicans and ICE are lucky, I mean that. I've never seen someone this composed. Anyone else in this situation, and they would probably want to burn the Capitol down. You could see the pain in their eyes. Brent described her as unapologetically helpful and that she loved fiercely. If it wasn't obvious by now for people who don't know, she died on scene. Um, Now after the shooting, protesters started, rightly so. Again, I encourage you to use your First Amendment rights. Um, these protesters have not stopped, and they have only gotten bigger with even more recent events. This incident alone could have Trump impeached, or at least questioned. And just to warn you, I'm going to be saying that a lot. A lot of these events that and stuff that we are talking about by themselves could have him impeached. But I've decided to bundle them all up. The next thing is possibly worse than what I just told you. I don't know, maybe. A couple weeks ago, ICE arrested a 5-year-old kid and used him as bait. The kid was grabbed by ICE after getting out from a car that picked him up from preschool. They then proceeded to instruct the kid to knock on their parents' door to see if anyone else was home. The father answered and they arrested him as well. They apparently weren't there for the kid, just the dad, who apparently was in the US illegally. How screwed in the head do you need to be to use a kid as bait? That kid was definitely terrified, as you can see by the image on your screen right now. A couple days later, both the child and the dad were released. So obviously, the accusations of the dad being a illegal were BS. They also claimed the father ran from the agents, but again, he was released. If he ran from the cops, he obviously wouldn't release them. So that was obviously BS as well. Another event that happened recently involving a child that honestly almost made me cry was a mother and father and the older brother of a 10-year-old were detained by ICE while they were on their way to celebrate their 10-year-old's birthday. There's video of the kid bawling their eyes out. It's just all bad. Poor kid having to deal with that on his birthday. The older sister was there as well and refused to answer questions from ICE, which good, they can shove it. Um, I couldn't imagine having to deal with that on your birthday. That's just insane. But yeah. Now we get to the other big shooting that happened, and this one really opened the floodgates again. Protesters have not stopped, and with the shooting I'm about to talk about, they have only gotten worse. Major protests have appeared in Los Angeles now. On January 24th, ICE agents were again in a neighborhood conducting raids, a part of Operation Metro Surge. The ICE agents who shot Renee Good was also a part of this operation. A man by the name of Alex Preddy was seen filming ICE agents and directing traffic, most likely to prevent another Renee Good situation. Funny enough, um, a ICE agent then proceeded to assault a woman, attempt to arrest her before Alex stepped in front of her, protecting her from the agent. That agent and at least 5 other agents proceeded to tackle Alex, beat the living hell out of him, pepper spray him, then disarm him and then shoot him. Let me say that again. They disarmed him, then shot him. He was hit 4 times, but a total of at least 7 shots were fired. There's an angle of the incident where you can see one of the officers take away his gun. He had a SIG, I believe. This event just shows just how dumb and untrained these agents are. Like, they took his weapon, yelled gun for some reason, even though he had his gun. You don't yell that when they are unarmed, or they are gonna think he has one and is trying to kill them, which they did obviously. Like, it's so frustrating, eh? Like, Alex was a nurse and had a heart of gold. There's video of him paying respects to a veteran on his job. He was a sweet guy, just like Renee Good, and they were both taken away. The cops that shot him were Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. Mexicans. The irony. Next thing I want to talk about is Greg Bovino. A video of him uh, giving orders to ICE agents has come out, and my god, is it outrageous. He is heard in the video saying, quote, "Arrest as many people as you want," and saying, quote, "This is our effing city." What a insane man. I could never imagine being this evil. He literally dresses up as a Nazi. It's insane. I'll put a photo up of an SS officer next to him. They are basically identical. Um, I don't think Trump liked how open he was being with his behavior and the things he was saying, because like a week ago or so, he was pulled out of Minneapolis as well as other ICE agents. The pressure got to Trump, I guess. Um, there was still agents there around 2000, but on top of the agents that were pulled out with Greg Bovino, they just pulled out another 700, which is insane. Um, this needs to end. Everything that we are talking about in the next 3 days needs to end, and I hope you MAGA rats can see that. Trump should be impeached for this, and you know it. My heart goes out to the families of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Um, it's just a horrible situation dealt by horrible people, and I'm hoping this will all end soon. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like and a follow. I'm sorry about my voice during this video. Um, my I had like a cold and stuff. It's been crappy, but yeah. Um, I'll see you next time. Bye.